you're moving in a direction. I'm completely tracking you. First, there's the perceptions we have in our head, and then ultimately we need to take some action and actually have some conversations. And I like kind of what, in your book, you talk about kind of Kevin and Celine, and you kind of talk about kind of that dynamic between those two that really want to reshape their relationship and kind of and can reconnect or find a way to connect. So you talk about understanding and connection. And I have a big sigh here because I'm wondering, how do you start with that? What's the starting place? What's the first question you ask? I don't know. I would know the answer to that.
I think we need to start with an invitation, especially if it's somebody who's already in our lives, and especially if there's been a rupture there. And so acknowledging that maybe things have been bumpy when those conversations have happened in the past, but saying, I'd like to really approach this in a different way. I really want to understand more about where you're coming from. And then you have to really want to understand. You've got to come in with a stance of curiosity. And even more so, the other person doesn't need to, but if you're trying to understand, then you've really got to want to understand. And some people tell me, well, I don't really want to understand. And I'm like, that's fine. Dialogue is not for you. Move along. You can do other things. But this isn't going to be your jam. But if you really do want to achieve any of those goals, then trying to understand and inviting somebody in, and then however you want to start with that, wherever you want to start. You might say, well, I know that we've talked about, this, I know we've talked about the environment in the past, or I know we've talked about guns in the past, and I'd like to understand more about where you're coming from. And then you just shut up and listen.